I watch through you or anything, or do I just follow along on my own? Okay, gotcha.
IRP. Lucas Oil, Indianapolis Raceway Park, the site of round 13 for TNT. Aiden Norman, Noah Belleville on the front row, ready to get it started. 175 laps of action from the bull ring in Indianapolis. Green flag is out. Noah Belleville to the front. He leads the first lap of action at Lucas Oil. IRP, Tom Sears, the two-time champion, following behind Belleville, and the caution is already out. Kevin Feemster goes around. Tonight the booth isn't just with myself. I've got ENEA's Nick Simpson sitting beside me. Nicky, welcome to Thursday Night Thunder. Welcome to IRP. It's going to be a fun night.
Sirky. Hey, thanks, Sergey. Happy to be here. We'll see what these ARCS guys are all about tonight.
Now, you guys over in ENEA are used to racing the Cup cars, and when I say Cup cars, I mean what we know as the next-gen stock cars, and these end up being cars that are a lot more loose, cars that are a bit more uncontrolled, and with this not even yet being the 800 or 900 horsepower package on iRacing, next season of Thursday Night Thunder is going to be even wilder, even more uncontrolled, looser race cars. And we still have 3 races to go in this season. Noah Belleville leads early on with two-time champion Tom Sears in second, and then the defending champion running in third, Aiden Norman, in that 6'2 Logitech Dodge. And I'm just excited to see short track racing as we knew it growing up.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time with these cars. They're pretty tight on these little short tracks, and it's a lot of fun. You know, you get those next-gen cars on the big tracks and get a lot of, you know, a little lax racing going on, but these tracks are really exciting, and we'll see how these guys turn it up tonight.
Lights are still on atop the pace car. Noah Belleville leads the race in what I think is a Capybara race car. That's, I mean, A for creativity, definitely. Let's have a quick word with this kid. Noah Belleville, well, Rick James and Nick Simpson up top. You got me?
Hey.
All right, let's cut to the chase. Tell the viewers what is your race car tonight?
Well, you can blame Tristan for this. I was gonna go back to the GoDaddy scheme, and then right before the race, he sent me this scheme. He's like, "You should run this. It's a muskrat." I was like, "Okay, I guess." Got to do it for the memes, you know. So here I am.
I guess I do. Now, if you look at the point standings, you're not anywhere near the top 20. You're sitting in 25th. But the last time you started in TNT was your first start of the season at Milwaukee. You came away with the win, half a lap to green. Noah, is it going to be 2 for 2? What do you think?
Yeah, you know, that's the whole not running for the championship, so just racking up trophies, as Colic likes to say. So gonna try and win it.
We're going to see what happens, buddy. Best of luck.
Yep, thank you.
Nicky Simpson, they're going to come to the green. Noah Belleville on the inside. Tom Sears on the outside. They wait for the signal out of turn number 4 with the setting sun at Lucas Oil IRP. Let's go racing.
Yeah, what a great start by the 41. He jumped out pretty far in advance here. These guys are going to try to catch up to him.
Belleville with Sears behind him, the 6'2" of Aiden Norman. Behind that yellow Supra, the Logitech Dodge, followed by Matt Kent racing out of Taiwan, the left-handed pitcher for the Fubong baseball team in Taiwan. It's just cool to say. It's fun to say, and it's awesome to have an American baseball pitcher racing out of Taiwan. Yellow flag is out again. This time, Bahamian Elrich George coming together with Josh Garrison. The Navy Chevrolet and the Speed Car Chevrolet making contact. Let's go back and see what happened.
Yeah, it seems like a little, a little riff-raff going on in the back of the pack here. Front of the pack seems a little spread out, so we'll see if the back of the pack can kind of keep it sturdy and get some green flag laps going on in here.
Nicky, do you have experience at IRP? Is it normally this congested early on? I mean, looking up to Josh Garrison in that 18, it looks like it's the 3 of Cody Riggs that might make contact with that Impala. Nowhere for the Bahamian to go. Let's have another look with Josh Garrison out the left side. Maybe contact. You saw the gap. Have one more look with Garrison. Oh, it might be what you call netcode, Nick. They came really, really close, but I don't know if there was any actual contact. We'll take one more look and just see. I mean, you can see daylight between the 3 and the 18, Nick. I mean, netcode for sure in iRacing terms, but, just in short track terms, it just came together.
Yeah, it's going to be some tight racing tonight, and, it looks kind of wide in those corners, but it's a lot tighter than you think. So, a lot more corners and straightaways here, and, it's just going to be fighting for your position out there.
Belleville leads in the 41. Two-time champion Tom Sears sits in second in the number 14. Aiden Norman, the Season 5 winner, sits in the 3rd position with Matt Kent in 4th, and your Season 4 champion Thomas Andrews in that 5th position. Looking at the swag design points coming into this race, Thomas Andrews does find himself in 2nd, albeit quite a gap to Aiden Norman. Aiden coming into this race with, what is that, 79-point lead, I think, maybe. Something insane, Nicky, but this close in the season, we've got 3.5 races to go. Aiden Norman has a fantastic points lead with 5 wins so far this season. Now, he says this track isn't his strength, but looking at the rest of the season, do you think there's a chance that Thomas Andrews could get back to the top?
Hey, there's always a chance for some of these guys out there. I mean, some of these laps and races, I mean, leader goes down, you're out of the race. So there's always a chance for some of these mid-range guys and top-tier guys to make a big advance, and we'll see what they do tonight.
Waiting for the signal out of the fourth corner. Restart coming on lap number 12, and it's lucky lap 13. Noah Belleville picks up the pace, and the 41 Muskrat car now leading this race. Tom Sears doing it the hard way on the outside, Nicky. Out of turn number 2, it's a drag race for second.
Hey, it looks like he's got a good big jump out there in the old capybara car. That little yellow car out behind him on turn 2 coming out pretty hot. Looks like they're settling into the single line there, and might be settling for a lot of green flag wraps right now.
Do you have a lot of experience at IRP, Nick? Have you been successful here before? It's not an easy place.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, you're in the corners a lot more than you're in the straightaways, so it's a lot of positioning and a lot of strategy in the corners here. So you just got to pick your line, see what's fast, see what deals with the tires here, and see what works best for you, you know?
Noah Belleville already out to a fast start, 22.23. He goes purple in the Muskrat machine. Tom Sears in second, Aiden Norman rolling in that third position in the 6-2, and Matt Kent still in fourth. Let's go on board with Briley Wright and see what the world looks like from fifth.
Yeah, that 24 is getting on in the inside of him now. He's got a pretty big feed ahead of him. A lot of big turns coming out of turn 3, it looks like, and a lot of strategy going on around here. It's a very flat track, and you gotta pick your sectors coming out of these turns to get a big jump on the straightaways here.
Richie Catania in the Jeff Gordon 24 DuPont Chevrolet coming up behind Thomas Andrews in the MGD Impala. Now coming up to lap 18 of 175 at IRP. Briley Wright starting to creep up. Cody Riggs now on the inside of Tristan Catania. This is the fight for 11th, Nick. The number 3 Dale Jr. AC Delco Chevrolet now running up to the inside of Tristan Catania. Kevin Feemster behind him in 13th. Everybody just trying to find some space, Nick. Now, what makes this track so desirable to run on the high side? You see a lot of guys staying away from that inside groove.
Yeah, I mean, the inside grooves are really going to tear up the tires, so I think the outside, I think some of these guys are going to try to strategize on the outside line so they don't eat up their tires. I think from now on to probably the next yellow, you're going to see a lot of strategy going on to save some tires, so it's going to be pretty interesting. Briley Wright, right on the tail of that 24 is going to be a real interesting race right now. The leaders look like they're spreading out a little bit, but this is the one to watch right here.
Looking at Tristan Catania's older brother, Richie, in the 2-4. The number 2 MGD Chevrolet of Thomas Andrews tries to hold him off through turns 1. And then there's the 2 just holding his line down the back straight. Nick, if you're Richie Catania, do you attempt the pass or do you just keep applying pressure, hoping the 2 makes the mistake?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be a little humble right here. He just got a little loose right there. But you're just trying to work and see what their weakness is right now. These guys are kind of fighting back and forth on the high side and low side right now. I mean, Richie's I think he's just sitting back like the old doctor and seeing where he's gonna make a mistake here.
The 2-4 waiting on the 2 to move. This is the battle for the 5th position between them. Aiden Norman rolling in that 3rd spot. Going up to the 6-2. There's the gap between 1st and 2nd. 2.5 seconds already. 23 laps into this race. Norman now working on 2-time champion Tom Sears. Norman had some troubles at the Milwaukee Speedway a couple weeks ago. He crashed 3 times in his 62 Dodge. And this time around, he's just looking to avoid the same. But again, he's got that big points cushion. Tom Sears only a 1/4 of a second ahead. Here comes the fight for 2nd, Nick. 6-2 to the inside.
Yeah, he's looking like he's taking a chance right here. Aiden Norman on the inside. Looking like he's got it, but he's got to pull it out on the inside. It's a tough line to take right here.
Sears giving way, not really putting a lot of pressure down low for Norman, who, as you say, Nick, is just wrecking those tires on the inside line. There's not a lot of grip, but you see Norman stays glued to the inside. What makes the difference for the 62?
Yeah, I mean, he's just got to really stick that corner out, but, I mean, he's losing a lot of tire when he's pulling some of these maneuvers out here. He's going to try to stick it. If you get in front, you got a good jump on it, but if you don't make that position, you're going to lose a lot of tire up in here.
Norman trying to stay glued to the outside lane as much as he can. Sears giving Norman just enough room to breathe, but not enough to come up to the high side. Matt Kent now wants to play, the American pitcher.
Hey, Matt Kent is right up, looking right up in their nostril. I mean, he's right on them. He's looking for whoever's going to make the mistake. Matt Kent in the sidewall.
Jeff Nose gone around. Elridge George also involved. How about Cody Riggs in the number 3 AC Delco Chevrolet? Caution, I think 3 comes out. Nick, let's go back and see what happened with the 40 of Elridge George.
Yep.
Oh, and George is going to catch the very end of this, Nick. By this time, Riggs and Noah have already gone around. Contact from Feemster. One DEI paint scheme to another. Feemster in the number 1 Pennzoil Chevrolet. Looks like he just makes soft contact with the rear end of Cody Riggs in the number 3 AC Delco. Let's see if we can go on board with Kevin Feemster and find out just how it looks like from his end. Nick, I think that says it all.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the replay, Rick, but I'll take your word for it here. I mean, this is an exciting race right up in the front. We're looking at the mid-range too. I mean, this is a good race right up in here.
Jeff Noe in the 55 caught a piece of that one also. Kind of a big crash. We saw the one get vaulted into the air. 30 laps into this one, Belleville leads. You've got Tom Sears in that second position, and Matt Kent sits in third. And if you've just tuned in, you've missed a couple of incidents, but nothing too major. We're going to let the cars get side by side and rack them for a restart. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 60 seconds with more TNT.
Here we go, and go back to green flag here. 41's on the low side here, 14 a little staggered back, 31 right on top of the 41 here. Let's see what the green flag brings, and 41 jumps out in front, just like he's been doing.
Belleville gets out to a great start. Tom Sears in that second position with Matt Kent running in third. Andrews on the top side with Briley right behind him. Here comes Richie Catania in the 2-4. Ryan Pinnell, the native of just South Indianapolis, coming up next to Tristan Catania in the 48, who makes contact with the wall. Feemster behind him. Nick John Honeybrink dives to the inside, and there's contact from Catania. Feemster's in the air again, Nick.
Oh, hey, we got a sideways spin coming out of 3 or 2. Looks like yellow flag here. Yeah, I was watching Richie Catania's you know, front vision there. A couple guys just got a little too ambitious out here. Got a little turn sideways.
Let's run this back. Let's see what happened to Jimmy Kerr III. Already Catania Feemster getting into it, and Kerr, just an innocent bystander. Seth Wansing does a neat little 360 there. He gets just the least of it. But Feemster, again, just flying up. And this is, wow, this is well before that. Let's take a look here. There's the back end. Nick, it looks like the 48 of Catania and the one of Feemster just trying to angle themselves for the high line, and they just made contact.
Yeah, I think a little too ambitious on those attempts. And, you know, that's what happens in the middle of the packs here. These guys try to get a little position, try to get a little jump on it, and, hey, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose here, and sometimes you end up in the wall, so.
Feemster up the inside of the 48. Let's see if we can get a closer look. So it looks like Catania hits the wall. Feemster tries to get out of the way, and he makes contact. You can see he made heavy contact with the right front. And yeah, I don't know. Let's run it back one more time and just see if we can. Oh, by this point it's already happened. To me, Nick, it looks like Feemster just tried to avoid Catania getting out of turn 4 poorly, and then it messed up his trajectory into turn number 1. And I mean, to break it down as scientifically as you can, that's just short track racing.
Amen.
So it's Belleville at the front, Sears behind him. None of the top 7 have pitted. The Drip Diecast and Collectibles Track Facts estimate incorrectly, I might say, 55 to 65 laps for a green flag pit window. These drivers could be doing much more than that, closer between 80 and 90 laps if they decide to stretch the fuel that far. But Nikki, it doesn't look like they're going to be going 55 laps green anytime soon. Despite that, it's been actually a fun race to watch so far. What are your first impressions of TNT compared to the Cup cars? How are these ARCA cars driving?
Yeah, I mean it's a world of difference here. These guys are pretty tight on these short tracks here. They ain't pretty close. You know, I mean it's early on in the race. We're on what are we on? Lap 38 of 175. This is early on in the race. Those ENT cars, you know, they get some spread out here. These guys are pretty tight here, and it's hopefully an exciting race in the short tracks. And you know, this will fizzle out into some strategy here with some fuel and some excuse me, some fuel and some tires. So it's still early on. I mean, everyone's on the same fuel and tires here. We'll see how they fare out in the next 20-30 laps here.
Getting ready to start once again. Noah Belleville will have control of the field. Tom Sears in the 14 tries to get a good jump on the outside, but Belleville so far has been looking like Ron Hornaday with these restarts. The 41 Muskrat machine lines up on the inside waiting for the signal. Green flag is out. We're racing again at IRP.
Yeah, pretty standard jump by the leader. Looks like about second or third tier back there, 3 wide.
Belleville, Sears, Kent, now your top 3. The 2-time champion Thomas Andrews sitting behind him 3 wide out of turn number 4. Aiden Norman in a 6-2 tries to avoid Tristan Catania in the 48. Caution is out once again. Kevin Feemster goes around in the number 1 Pennzoil machine. He jumps to pit road. Let's see what happened to Feem, Nick. This is 2 crashes in the last 2 cautions. Contact from the 7.5 of JK3. Have another look, Nikki. It just looks like Kerr might have just gotten too excited into turn number 3 and gotten the back end of Feemster.
Yeah, these guys are getting a little ambitious on the restarts. it looks like he just got up, right into him. I mean, some of these guys in the pack, they're trying to make a couple advances in some of these positions. I mean, it's tough to blame them, but you can't ram right in the back of some guys here. I mean, this is what racing's all about. This is how you get better. You got to be humble. You got to take some inside or outside lines. You just can't pull yourself into here.
And the North Carolinian piloting the 75. Just the numbers tell it right there. Kevin Feemster getting turned around by the 7.5 of Jimmy Kerr the third. So that's a couple crashes each for Kerr, for Feemster. The teacher, Jeff No, racing for educators all around the globe, and TJ's team on the number 55 Mustang now sits in lucky number 13th position. Two-time champion Thomas Andrews in the third spot, with Matt Kent occupying the outside of row number one. The Coors Charger will now take his shot at beating Noah Belleville on the restart. Nikki, how is he going to do it?
Yeah, I mean, that 41's been getting a really good jump start. What I'm focused on is that 24 and the 12. About 3 rows back, I mean, they've been going 3 wide in those first sets of corners. That's really where the action's going on right now. The leaders have been separating themselves back, and I mean, Blue Pack is really exciting right now. Let's see how it goes right here.
Waiting for the jump, ready to get racing. Belleville with control once again. Kent trying to push him to the inside. Matt Kent really trying something different. Belleville gets him to the hole shot anyway. And the 2.9 of Briley Wright on the outside of Thomas Andrews going down that back straight into turn number 3. Nikki, 4-1, 3-1, 2, your top 3.
Yeah, we got some 3 wide back in the rear of the pack here. I wouldn't be surprised on another caution, but hey, let's see if these guys can stick it together. Oh, we got a caution mid-lap. Oh, number 2 catches a door right in the, oh man. There is going to be some pitting action in this. Another caution. This is sad to see right here. Plus some green flag laps here.
Let's go back and have a look. Let's see if we can click back a lap or two and find out. Matt Kent just lost it out of turn 4. You just saw it coming out of that 4th corner. There goes the 3-1. He tries to catch it down the front straight, just avoids the number 2 of Thomas Andrews. Looked like it was almost net code as well. The number 48 of Tristan Catania couldn't avoid that. Elrich George this time did avoid that. Off that 4th corner, Nikki, it's...
Yeah, it looks like he kind of got low on the that straightaway there, tried to get back up into the race line and just collided with the 2 there. I mean, sometimes you just got to get out of that race line. You want to get back in it, and you just kind of force yourself. That's what it looked like. He kind of went 3 wide, and to be honest, kind of put himself in a tough situation there. I mean, I don't want to say he deserved it, but that's a tough position to get back into. You make mistakes, you got to live with them, right?
Well, have one more look at this, because it looks like they don't even make contact. We're going to slow it down just as Kent loses it here, and have a look, Nick. If you get real close, these 2 cars don't even make contact, and the 2 just loses it. So massive net code there, where Thomas Andrews could have avoided that. Ryan Pinnell just turns Kent into the upper lane. Catania does a great job of avoiding Kent, but then he gets right into Andrews. Honeybrink tries to avoid some of this. I think Cody Riggs might have gotten a piece of this too. How about Cody Riggs driving through Honeybrink? It looks like he made no contact there, Nikki.
Is that the 2.9?
Riggs is going to be the 3 in the AC Delco machine.
Yeah, I mean, that 3-1 was just trying to get back in that racing line. That's a tough situation right there. That 2 just got the worst of it. I mean, these guys are just, jockeying for position out here. It's a very tough race, especially with the leaders getting out in front. I mean, these guys are trying hard. It's a good racing going on right now.
Have one more look at Cody Riggs. wrong accident here. Let's have one more look at Cody Riggs. Right on board the 3. He does not touch a car here. Check this out. He avoids Honeybrink, Catania, and the 1-8.
Yep. He got right in the middle of that, yeah. He made it through, made a couple of advances in position. And, hey, that's how you jump up. In any of the leagues that we're talking about that we're involved with, hey, you just got to keep your nose clean. And, I mean, you're not supposed to keep the hammer down, but, hey, if you can make a couple advances in position, that's what it's all about right there. I love the old Dale Jr. livery. That's what we're all about right here.
It's quite an impressive color scheme. I was talking to him in practice earlier, and he was pretty proud of it too. And for those smooth moves, he should be proud, because that right there earns Cody Riggs the Cole Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream.
Deserves it right there. You know, now Woody's sitting about 5th place. Hey, that's how you jump up some position right there. That's how you get the chances of getting it. And here we go, going back to green, and see what these guys got.
Briley Wright will now have a chance in the 2-9. He's going to be starting on the outside of Noah Belleville, coming to complete lap 5-1, just over 110 laps to go. Griff wants himself some ice cream, and I do too. Green flag is out. Nikki, Noah Belleville wins again. He has not lost a single restart all race long. The 2-9 of Briley Wright is in.
We're going 3 wide out, coming out. Oh, the 3 spins. 3 spins. He's putting the 1-9 in the wall. This is unfortunate. Oh, he's rolling over now. Yep. These guys I was watching it the whole time. These guys were jockeying for position out here. Hey, just a real tough grind right there, and it looks like that 3 got spun a little bit. We're gonna go back and check this out right here.
3 wide out of the 4th corner. The 6-2, the 3, the 1-8 getting sandwiched there, and yeah, 3 wide out of turn number 4 on the restart. Aiden Norman, not sure if he was forcing the hand. We'll take a look here with the 6-2 right from the restart, Nick. On lap 52, I believe. Norman already starting up the inside behind the 1-8. Let's have a quick look and just find out how this unfolds.
Yeah, it looks like to be honest, I mean, the 3 ran out of that low line, had to go up a little bit, and just got right into the 6-2. That's just a tough position. The 3 was running a hot car, hot line, and unfortunately the 62 got caught up in it, and the 18 had nowhere to go, and just doored it right into him and got caught up. I mean, unfortunately, the 18 was running a good race and got caught up in the whole situation there. Feel bad for him, but sometimes that's what you got caught up into.
Let's go on board with Cody Riggs. And one of those Bluegrass Bandits in tonight's race will keep on rolling in the number 3 Dale Jr. Chevrolet. That EC Delco machine now runs in the 14th position. Noah Belleville still up front. Briley Wright in that 2nd position, starting on the outside of the 41. And Nikki, we still have more than 110 laps left in this race. Impatience could be a word to describe the racing so far.
Yeah, listen, I mean, Cody was running a hot car. He was coming on the inside, and I think, you know, just the racetrack and the tires, these tires are getting pretty worn, and he just kind of moseys up into that middle lane. That 62 was trying to hold it strong, and unfortunately, he just he just moseyed up on that and, you know, got gobbled up in that situation. The 18 just, you know, he got caught up in that one. I feel bad for that 1-8 there. Cody was running a fast race, but hey, you know, that's racing right there, right?
That's just short track racing. I think that's going to be the theme of the night. That's just short track racing. Briley Wright gets to restart on the outside of row number 1 with Richie Catania. On the inside of row number 2, the DuPont Chevrolet starting to the inside of the Home Depot Impala. John Honeybrink has Dustin Painter behind him. The North Carolinian has been kind of silent tonight, but you see he's got a little bit of work done to the front end of his best, I was going to say Best Western, not even Best Western, Napa Auto Parts Camry. But the 00 will restart here on the outside of row number 3 with Aiden Norman to the left-hand side, waiting for the signal. Nikki, this time Briley Wright gets to try again to beat Noah Belleville, and he doesn't. Yeah. Belleville gets the jump.
Belleville's got a great car tonight. He's really got the jump on there. I mean, to be the second and third place and to match that, you really got to be on the throttle perfectly. And we'll see what these guys are doing. The, you know, the tires are getting worn here. We're on lap 59. I mean, it's going to get real interesting here. There's going to be a lot of strategy, I think, folding out right from this way out.
Tom Sears now on the inside of Dustin Painter. Can't quite get the position. That's the battle for the 6th spot. Further on back, Cody Riggs on the outside of the Season 4 champion. Thomas Andrews currently second in the points. Nikki, we were at Darlington last week, and I don't think we had as many race cars with as many scrapes last week as we do right now. Just about everybody has a scratch on their car. Cody Riggs bouncing off the wall in that number 3. 3 wide behind them.
Oh, we got the 20 car going into the wall on the inside. He just looks like he got it all by himself, just got a little loose. I don't know if they're going to call it the yellow. Looks like he's going to keep going. Green flag racing.
One car in Thursday Night Thunder going around does not warrant a caution. 2 cars making contact bring out the yellow flag. Jeff No in the 55 on the outside of the number 2. And No still holding on the top side. And there's No in that 55 on the outside. Just trying to hold on, and he can't. Thomas Andrews making the middle line work. And Nick, I'm no expert, but I think that middle line is starting to gain rubber. It's starting to gain traction. You're seeing drivers move just a little lower on the racetrack. The race is starting to evolve, Nick Simpson.
Yeah, you're going to see the Belleville is just dominating out here. Riley Wright is just trying to do everything he can to keep up with him. Richie Catania is just, he's trying everything. He's getting real loose out there. You're going to see these tires really fall off, and you're going to see these guys either make it or break it.
We're going to see who still has the grip. Reminder that the top 3 have not pitted. This feels like probably our longest green flag run of the race. Belleville 1.6 seconds ahead. Briley Wright ahead of Ricardo Catania in the 2-4 DuPont Chevy. Here comes Aiden Norman in the 4th spot. He pitted on lap 29, so his tires in the Logitech Dodge more fresh than the top 3 ahead of him. And Aiden's just making that high line work. Last time around, 22.74. Nick, he is 0.2 of a second slower than the race leader, Noah Belleville.
Hey, we just saw Briley Wright get in the wall right there, and unfortunately, the Richie Catania couldn't take advantage of the situation right there, but it looks like Aiden Norman just kind of snuck up in there, and hey, 2 through 5 is a real battle right here. We got Tom Sears getting up in the mix and Dustin Painter. We just got a, oh jeez, Richie Catania in the wall. Oh, we got a little touching going on. Hey, 2 through 6 is really hot right now.
Like you say, a little touching going on out of turn number 2. Dustin Painter in that 00 on the inside of Matthew Kent in the 31. The 9 of Seth Wansing behind him, and Thomas Andrews in the 9th position, kind of on an island by himself. Further on up, it's not any further apart, Nick. They're getting just a bit closer. How about Richie Catania trying that low line and giving Sears the top side?
Hey, Tom Sears just taking the top line, just domination right now in that Supra, the 1-4 Supra. I mean, he's looking for getting into position 3 and 2 possibly after this. He's eyeing him up. He's getting the crosshairs up, and he's digging right now.
Tom Sears in the 1-4, just ahead of Matthew Kent in that 31. He went around and brought out one of the many cautions tonight. Painter in the 00 has Seth Wansing behind him, with Richie Catania starting to occupy that spot. And Nick, it looks like sanity just might prevail. These drivers finally giving each other some space.
Yeah, Tom Sears in that 1-4 Supra, he's gaining on these guys. I think he's got him in the crosshairs. Matthew Kent trying everything he can to keep up with that yellow Supra. We'll see how it folds out right here.
Dustin Painter in that 00 sitting in 6th, half a second away from the top 5, while Jeff No drag races for the position down these very short straights. Almost some contact between the 5 and the 3. Off of turn number 4, there might be contact between the 5 and the 3. Jeff No in that 55, Nick, now coming up behind Cody Riggs. I don't think they're done.
Yeah, there's a lot of action. I mean, number 1 is out there. He's pretty far out, but, you know, like I said, that 2 through 6 is very tight. A lot of switching going around. Tires are going to start falling off. A lot of mistakes going to be had right here.
Race leader Noah Belleville has not come down pit road. He's leading Aiden Norman by 4.7 seconds, but it's starting to decrease just a bit. We take a look at the lap history over the last 5 laps. You can see Norman not losing as much time that last time around, but consistently losing up to 0.3 at a time over the last 5 laps, Nick. Belleville just on.
Hey, we got some action going on in the number 9 here in the 00, about in the 5th place. These guys are battling it out right now. The number looks like 9, Seth Lansing. They're battling out with the 00 right now. He almost got lost, almost got some caution. These guys are fighting it out, and right ahead of them is for 3, 4th, and 5th. This is some good action going on with the tires dropping off.
Seth Wansing in that number 9, coming up behind Dustin Painter in the 00, while up ahead Briley Wright fighting for his place on those podium positions. And the 2-9 has Tom Sears behind him, just sailing into that 3rd corner while the sun sets at Lucas Oil IRP. Sears behind the 2-9, tires starting to fall off, as we've been talking about, but only 3 drivers have yet to come down pit road. Noah Belleville, the race leader, Briley Wright, who's in 3rd, and then you've got Richie Catania in the 2-4. Nikki, you're looking at those drip diecast and collectibles race facts. These drivers get a maximum of 3 tire changes, and if they've already used one, they're on the back foot for the rest of this green flag cycle.
Yeah, I don't see these guys sticking too tight right now. I mean, looks like a bunch of them are getting pretty loose. The 3 through 6 positions. It's a battle out here. That bright yellow Supra right in the mix right here. The Auto Parts Toyota. These guys are looking like they're having a lot of fun. Looking like a lot of risks going on into these corners. It's a lot of good, exciting green flag racing from 3 through 6.
Sears in the 1-4 with Kent in the 3-1. Now 2x2, 2 rows deep out of the 4th. Briley Wright in the Good Wrench Chevrolet, watching Tom Sears just slot in front, but Sears trying to use that middle line. Briley still maintaining up high. And Nick, guys like Matt Kent in that 31 being forced to run that middle line, so running a more conservative line. And now you've got Thomas Andrews back in the mix. This is getting tight, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of props to Matthew Kent out here. He's sticking that low line out there. Tom Sears jumping out a little bit, but man, I give a lot of props to Matt Kent right here. He just snuck into 5th place. I mean, he just stuck out in front of that Goodwrench Chevrolet. You know, there's still some battles going on, but hey, this is where we're going to start spreading it out. Riley Wright just touching the wall there, losing some time. You guys are going to see these tires start falling off and some mistakes being made.
Single file racing once again through that pack. Thomas Andrews in the 5th position. Matt Kent in the 3-1 just ahead, while Noah Belleville continues to put on for Lucas Oil. Aiden Norman now, well, as near as makes no difference, 5 seconds behind Noah Belleville. It goes 4-1, 6-2, 1-4. The two-time champion Tom Sears, he pitted on lap 42. Last time around, he was 1/10 of a second quicker than Aiden Norman. Nick, looking at the last 5 laps, Tom Sears, last time a 1/10 of a second slower. So it looks like we're looking at, what, 85 laps of racing for Noah Belleville. Still has, as the clock shows, no tire wear. And you're looking at Tom Sears, who has tires that are 13 laps older than Aiden Norman. And Matt Kent is starting to catch up as well. When, Nick, are we going to see the tires start to affect the 2 leaders?
Yeah, it's going to start dropping off pretty soon. I didn't get any research about fuel expansion, but these guys are going to just push as hard as they can. I mean, Belleville is about to start lapping people. Just lapped the 7.5 car. He's going to keep pressing until he runs out of fuel. That's for damn sure. And, you know, hey, this is what it's all about. These guys are going to keep pushing. It's green flag racing. Some of that 2nd and 3rd place is just got to keep pressing their head and getting after it. These guys have gotten through some of the tricky parts. Tom Sears, he's got a lot of open lanes in front of him. Hey, let's go out and get it.
Tom Sears trying to chase down Aiden Norman in that 2nd position, but Matt Kent now fills up the space 1/4 of a second behind him. Let's ride on board Tom Sears and watch the battle for 3rd.
Yeah, that 31 is trying to edge it out every chance he gets, and you know what, you just scrape the wall. It's going to be an interesting battle for 3rd place right here. They both got some worn tires. Looks like Kent is trying to take the low side here. Looks like he's got it. See if he can make it stick.
Matt Kent trying his hardest, just trying to creep up to the spot. He's cleared Tom Sears. That's going to put Matt Kent in 3rd, while Sears opens the door. 3 championships running 4th and 5th. 2 for Sears, 1 for Andrews, and Matt Kent, who is winless in TNT, now moves into 3rd, and the part-time driver on the podium now, as well as Noah Belleville, making his 2nd start of the season in the 41. He's about to put Cody Riggs a lap down, and that will leave 10 cars on the lead lap. But again, Belleville has 92 laps of wear on his tires. Albeit, Nick, I will grant you, the first, let's say, 30-ish laps had lots of cautions in there. So really, we could see Belleville stretch this out to probably lap 105, lap 110.
Yeah, Sears is going to be really upset with himself. He let the Thomas Andrews get by. I mean, he's just looking at those guys spreading out a little bit. And you know what? To be honest, this is a situation where you just got to keep your composure, not spin out, and just keep an honest lap time going. These guys, there's a very big risk of slapping the wall. Once you slap that wall, you're dropping a couple positions here. You can can see the spin out going into the turns. But these guys are going to start dropping off, and we'll see how long they can last.
Looking at Noah Belleville trying to go the distance. He's gone 95 laps without changing those tires. Tom Sears has Jeff No to the inside, the double 5. Now getting into that 5th position. Sears falling back. Tom Sears last pitting on lap 42. Car 55 pitting on lap 55, and that's going to put Jeff No into the top 5. A lot of 5s there. Maybe a good omen for No. We'll see. Nikki, obviously Noah Belleville crushing the competition right now. Aiden Norman, 5 seconds behind Noah Belleville, and then Matt Kent, 5 seconds behind Aiden Norman. Of the race so far, besides Noah Belleville, who do you like, and what have you seen? What have you learned about these drivers?
Yeah, I mean, number 1 is just out there. He's just dominating what's going on right here. You know, 2, 3 through 8. You know, it's a very exciting race going on right now, and we'll see what happens when these tires start dropping off. I mean, if it's going to be some green flag pitting, it's going to be very interesting, the strategy that's going on, and we'll see how it goes. If there's a yellow flag that comes out pretty soon, it's going to be a very interesting race. It's going to be leveled out, but, you know, green flag racing is going to be a lot of strategy going out here.
I'm just curious to see when they're actually going to make it down pit road. You're starting to see drivers get closer together. Through the midfield, the tire drop-off is definitely starting to affect some of these drivers. I mean, look at No in that double 5. He's coming up behind the 2 of Thomas Andrews, and you've got 6 laps of wear in those tires, but No probably just saving most of what he's got for these long green flag runs. We're coming up to lap 100, and at the front, the story stays the same. But Matt Kent now making way for Thomas Andrews in the 2. He's second in those Swag Designs points standings. Aiden Norman is second in this race, although he leads by a huge amount. Nick, this is the kind of performance that could keep Thomas Andrews in the fight for the title.
Yeah, these ARCS cars have really leveled the playing field. Looks like Jeff No is trying to stick his nose in front of that 31. Looks like he's got the edge here, and looking like he's going to go after Thomas Andrews right after this.
The 3 and the 2 side by side. A couple of classic paint schemes being shown off in TNT. Matt Kent now just sitting at the back, probably just biding his time and saving his stuff. Dustin Painter in the 00, now running to the port side of Tom Sears in the 1-4. And Sears' 6th position now under attack. Nick, Dustin Painter starting to use the low line. Do we finally have buildup on that inside? It looks like there's grip.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think these guys risking a little bit on the low side here, and we're going to see some mistakes about to happen. There's a lot of lap traffic going on. Cody Riggs, unfortunately, in the lap traffic here, and you know, it's just about navigating that positioning, and we'll see what unfolds.
Tom Sears now wishing he could be back in front of that 00, while Seth Wansing now tries to make a move on the 1-4 car. Sears now down 4 places from where he started, while Elrich George, the Bahamian, all the way from Nassau, up 6 places from where he started. He started 17th out of 18 entrants in tonight's race. And then you have Indianapolis's very own, the hometown flavor and the Pacers fan with an outside chance to win this race. Ryan Pennell in that Hooters 1-2, who looks like he's finally coming down pit road. Pennell pitted on lap 54, so this will be 50 laps of racing on those General tires. Now, what's the strategy? Is he trying to short pit with the 24 of Richie Catania?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of risk right now. Hope no yellows come out. It's we'll see if he gets out there in time and doesn't lose too many positions on the green flag laps.
Another one of those Bluegrass Bandits, Briley Wright, also decides he's going to come down pit road for tires, fuel, and whatever else he needs to go the rest of this race. Drivers can go to the end from here without stopping again, Nick. We're inside the final 70 laps of racing. Now, if it's you, knowing you probably have one more set of tires, when do you come in, or do you take this set of tires all the way to the checkered flag?
You know, that's a real tough position to be in. It's about strategy. It's about confidence in this racetrack. It depends on how many laps you've taken here. You know, some of these guys are very comfortable in their setting, but it doesn't matter. You're going to run out of fuel at some point. So these guys are going to have to pit in when their spotter says a certain amount of laps left, and we'll see how they do it. It's all about strategy at this point until another yellow comes out.
Look at the lap times now. We saw them about 30, maybe 40 laps ago. Aiden Norman was just with orange times across the board, Nick. Now you take a look at this. Noah Belleville slower than Aiden Norman by almost 2/10 on lap 108. This time Belleville clawing a little bit of that time back, but to quote Michael Scott, how the turntables. Aiden Norman only 4 seconds adrift of Noah Belleville, and again, Belleville has not pitted. 110 laps of wear on those tires for the part-timer but winner this season in TNT. Belleville now has to be on defense because he's a man on an island, Nick.
Yeah, Belleville looks like he's doing the right thing. Aiden Norman just slapped the wall a little bit too. I think he's he's getting pretty loose. I think he's about to pit in real soon right here. I don't think he's got too much left to give to Belleville.
The native of Dobson, North Carolina, with a big tail whip out of turn number 4. It looks like Milwaukee 2.0. The 6-2
in the pits right here. We'll see if Aiden Norman follows it. Looks like he's going for a full lap here. He's going to try to get the points.
Belleville coming down pit road and trying to stay on top of things while Aiden Norman becomes the new leader in the 6-2 Logitech Dodge. That's going to put Thomas Andrews in the second position. Briley Wright just went green, 22.47 seconds, his personal best. He last pitted on lap 105. Norman leading now. He hasn't pitted in about 85-ish laps. Thomas Andrews has tires that are 20 laps younger than Aiden Norman. The MGD Drip Diecast Chevrolet up 3 places from where he started. And Jimmy Kerr, the third, now climbing places as Seth Wansing is making his way out of pit road. Nicky, the 4-1 of Noah Belleville, comes out in the 8th position, 1 lap off the pace.
Yeah, he's looking pretty strong. Aiden Norman's going to have to do the same thing. I think he stayed out there to get a little extra points. And that Logitech Dodge is going to have to pit in pretty soon.
Norman in the 6-2 on the outside of Wright in the 2-9, who has those fresh tires. The Goodwrench Chevrolet makes light work of the 6-2. You see him entering really low on the racetrack. I think they're trying to make that inside line work. How about Noah Belleville in the 41, now coming up to the inside of Briley Wright. Wright opens the door. Belleville really coming up the racetrack, but he's got grip in the 41. He's going to kick it sideways out of turn number 2, Nick. But he's holding on. Belleville in the 6th spot, working with fresh tires.
Yeah, Noah's going to keep pressing right now. These guys are going to start slipping behind. I don't think they're going to be able to keep pace with the old 4-1 car here. And we're going to see it separating.
Belleville in 6th, 8 seconds behind Dustin Painter. Thomas Andrews, 0.3 ahead of Jeff No in that double 5. Belleville now could be in an advantageous position if it goes green all the way to the end. The last restart we had was on lap 61, possibly, I think. So it's been about 60 laps since we restarted this race. Mama Vols is in the house. And Commando Griff earlier asking if these are the ARCA cars or the Gen 4 cars. These are the ARCA cars, but next season, coming up in Season 6, TNT will be racing those full-blooded Gen 4 stock cars. That's going to be an awesome, awesome season of competition. But how about Briley Wright with more immediate competition, Nick? Seth Wansing on the inside. Briley Wright making contact with the 2.9 of Seth Wansing. Getting a little closer than they want. And 3 wide out of 2, Nick.
Yeah, it's going to get real tight. Garrison just getting kind of pushed out into the wall right there. And Tom Sears just kind of sitting back, looking what's going on here. He's just sitting back, unfortunately, in about 13th place. He's going to want to step up a little bit, see what these pit stop strategy is going to unfold.
The 2.9 of Wright still on the outside of Seth Wansing. That's the fight for the 8th position. Coming out of that 4th corner now, separated by less than 0.2 of a second. John Honeybrink near them on the racetrack. He's in the 16th position, 1 lap off the pace.
Yeah, Seth Wansing trying to keep that low line on the 2.9. It's a tough one. You kind of slide pushing up into the middle of the corners. But it looks like they're battling it out right now. It's a good watch right now.
2.9 of Wright on the outside. Just couldn't hold on with the 9 of Seth Wansing. Down that back straight, now Wansing looking to the inside of Honeybrink, but of course not for position. Elrich George hasn't pitted since lap 35. He's up 11 places from where he started as he kisses the backstretch wall, and he's got plenty of scrapes on the left-hand side. But George definitely going for broke, and I mean, it's an interesting strategy, Nick. We'll see how it works out for him.
Yeah, Briley really wants that 8 position. He's going to start pushing, but I don't know how their tires and fuel are going, but got a little loose coming out of that corner. Those are the mistakes you do not want to make at this point in the racetrack.
George in that 40, now chasing down Noah Belleville, but it's not really a chase considering that the 5 car is 15 seconds ahead of Elrich George. Matt Kent now on defense as Belleville gets closer and closer to the inside, but I don't think the 3-1's going to throw up that much of a protest. The 41 goes to the inside, and he takes that Muskrat car. That's right, the Muskrat car is now back in the podium positions. We've got just under 50 laps to go, Nick Simpson.
Yeah, you can see that 41 or the 31 just he just got nothing for that lead. Capybara part out in the front there. You know, that forward banquet beer, just can't do much for it right now. He's scraping the wall. These guys are going to start falling off.
With 50 laps to go, we've got to consider just what the strategy is going to be for drivers like Aiden Norman running 5th in the points. Thomas Andrews now finally in. He's running 2nd in those Swag Designs points. Aiden Norman leading with 5:45 to Thomas Andrews 4:76 with now less than 3.5 races remaining. This is it. This is 4 races to go in the season. And next week, TNT will take the circus to the Talladega Super Speedway. It's still not a clinch for Aiden Norman, but if he gets lucky next week, he just might find himself with 2 hands on that TNT trophy. We've got to find out, and you do too. So be there with us next Thursday night, 8:40, right here on Rick TV. Nick Simpson, new leader at the top. Jeff No, now number 1.
Hey, Noah Belleville just passed the Thomas Andrews, came in for the pit here. This is going to be a real interesting part of the race here with Thomas Andrews getting some fresh tires. No Belleville on, you know, he's got about, I think, about 10 laps on him. This is going to be a real interesting watch right here.
Jeff No just trying to hold on while Noah Belleville is 7 seconds behind him. Matt Kent and Aiden Norman separated by 9 seconds, and Noah's in. Jeff No decides to come down into the pits, and that's going to be it for his reign at the top of the tree. So order will be restored, and Noah Belleville will now take over the top spot in car 41. We've got just around 42 laps to go. Belleville last pitted on lap 112, Nick. If he takes his tires all the way to the end, it will be a 63-lap run. Aiden Norman, his tires 13 laps more fresh, but we saw in that first green flag cycle, tires 13 laps apart don't make that much of a difference.
Yeah, we'll see if Thomas Andrews got anything for Belleville out there. I mean, he's got about, I think, 8 to 10 laps on the tires. But I've been watching him for a little bit. He's getting pretty loose in those corners. I don't know if he can make up the time to catch Belleville. We'll see what it's all about here. If he can stay humble and get himself through the lap traffic and see if he can make up some time here.
But just how much time is remaining? It's going to be 40 laps to go, this time by Matt Kent. Now ahead of Tom Sears, who finds himself in the 8th position. Driver of the number 14 is 2 laps off the pace. And it's quite an illustration when you look at it in numbers, but it also says a lot to drivers like Noah Belleville, who have put in another masterclass of a performance. But Nick, it is still his race to lose. Anything can happen inside these last 40 laps, and if they're like the first 40 laps of the race, it's going to be full of cautions.
Yeah, in this second half of the race, we haven't seen too many cautions. I'd like to get one up in here to condense these guys back up, get another little restart, but honestly, no one's making the big mistakes, and that's all about strategy when it boils down to it.
Matt Kent in the 31, now behind Noah Belleville, but by 12 seconds. That's more than half a lap, considering Noah Belleville's best lap is 22.23. It's another one of those Milwaukee-like performances. If you were with us in that race, you saw Aiden Norman go around 3 times, but still come up to collect the top 5. You're seeing Matt Kent come up behind Cody Riggs in car number 3. Norman now behind him, trying to split the difference like he did. Norman expertly making the move between them. And a clever way for Matt Kent and Cody Riggs to be excused through turn number 1. Let's have another look. That was pretty cool. Oh, he already got around him by now, but Nick, I don't know if you saw that pass, but that was just clever moves by Aiden Norman, just plowing through him. Here we go. Have another look.
Talking about Aiden Norman here.
6-2 just makes it easy. Now, Cody Riggs gets out of the way just a little bit, but that could have gone a lot worse than it did. 13 seconds now the gap with about 35 laps to go, Nick. Is Noah Belleville starting to go on cruise control, or is it still not within grasp, the win?
Yeah, I mean, Aiden Norman is hard charging here. I don't know if he's got anything in him to make up that distance in between first and second here. We'll see what he's got, but hey, we can hope for the best. I'm kind of hoping for a caution right here to condense it back up, but we'll see what these guys got up in their sleeve.
You're looking at the battle for the 7th position. Tom Sears is on the inside of Dustin Painter. Out of that 4th corner, Sears seems to have the advantage. They only pitted 4 laps apart. Elrich George sits in 12th. He just put in a personal best, 22.72 seconds. Tristan Catania's gone around. Is it a single car spin? The New Jersey pilot, who last pitted on lap 136, comes back out onto the racetrack in a fighting spirit. Nick, let's go back and see what happened to car 48. And he's going to spin by himself out of turn 2. And there it is. The New Jersey pilot just tries to catch it, almost like what happened to Matt Kent. Except, wow, that was close. Dustin Painter getting to the inside. Let's go on board with the 00. Watch this. Painter himself just got loose out of turn number 2. Seth Wansing sitting in 6th ahead of him. Matt Kent is coming in. Tom Sears is coming in. So Dustin Painter is going to gain a spot, and he's going to gain a lot of breathing room behind him. Briley Wright is the next car, Nick. 8 seconds back.
Yeah, Norm is just hard charging for first place. I don't think he's going to catch him, but about 3 through 6. We'll see. It's kind of toss-up right now.
Richie Catania coming up behind the native flavor. Ryan Pinnell in that 1-2 Hooters car just ahead of the 2-4 DuPont Chevrolet. Pinnell up 2 places from where he started. Catania back where he started in 9th. 8/10 the gap between them, but a good show by the Hoosier in the 1-2 Hooters Ford.
Hey, Jeff No is battling out with that 4-1 right now because I think the 55's got a little better tires on it. They're doing a little battle right now going through the track, and I think Jeff knows he's got the better tires right now. I think the 4-1 is a little frustrated with him.
Noah Belleville running in the lead. He has I think a 12-second gap back to Aiden Norman in that 2nd position. Thomas Andrews is in 3rd, but like you say, Nick, the 55 of No starting to pull away. 25 to go. This time by No fighting to stay on the lead lap, and a blink from him. If the caution comes out now, Nick, Seth Wansing is your lucky dog. But if Jeff No goes a lap down and then the yellow comes out, Jeff No gets his lap back. And if a caution comes out with 25 to go, Noah Belleville is in prime fighting shape because there's only 4 cars on the lead lap. There will be 5 maximum, right? No's going to have, or I'm sorry, Belleville, Nick, is going to have fresh tires, and he only has to restart from 5th.
Yeah, this is a little uncharacteristic of these short track racing. Usually there's a lot of more mistakes being made and a lot of more cautions, but these guys kind of started to settle in, get a little spaced out, and stop taking a lot of risks. So unfortunately, if these guys start or actually fortunately, these guys are not making too many risks, and hey, there's a lot of green flag racing. Unfortunately, not a lot of accidents happening.
Jeff No in that 55 just trying to stay calm in that 4th position. Thomas Andrews in 3rd in that number 2 MGD machine. Aiden Norman in 2nd, and Noah Belleville leading the race in that 4-1 Muskrat race car. And he says he got the idea for that Muskrat race car from Tristan Catania. 21 laps to go next time by, and Belleville again putting on that masterclass in the 41, but anything still can happen. Matt Kent coming up behind Ryan Pinnell, who's running that low side. This is going to be for the 8th spot, and it looks like Pinnell. Not sure if
some battles going on in position 6, and the 2 car, or the position 2. Number 62, there's a little action going on with that 1-4 car. This might bring out a caution. We'll see how these guys unfold.
Tom Sears running in that 11th position, 2 laps off the pace. The 00 of Dustin Painter on the top side, and the Napa Camry holds on to that 6th position, but Briley Wright, the next car, 12 seconds back. The clock showing Dustin Painter on an island. Seth Wansing right now, the lucky dog, coming to 18 laps to go. Jeff No working on Thomas Andrews. Let's go on board with the 55. Thomas Andrews holding on, Nick. He's in third, but only a half second separates him and the podium. Nick, looking at that top three, Noah Belleville, Aiden Norman, and Thomas Andrews have been holding on to that podium strongly all race long, but with 17 to go, do you expect anything to change amongst the podium? How about Jeff No threatening for third?
Yeah, Jeff is looking like he's hard charging right now. He got through some lap traffic, and we'll see if he can make those tires stick. He's looking low right now, going on that 2 Rusty Wallace livery, and we'll see if he can put some pressure on him to get past him.
Matt Kent and Briley Wright now swapping positions. The 31 of Matt Kent sitting in the 7th spot. Dustin Painter actually a lap ahead of him in the 6th position. And then Tom Sears in 9th, slowly climbing through the top 10. In these last 16 laps, we'll see what drivers can hang on here. Briley Wright, he last pitted on lap 105, so his tires are going to be much more worn than Tom Sears behind him in 9th. Nick, we're going to see a lot of positions change hands here in these final 15 laps.
Yeah, I'm watching the podium chase right here with the 55 and the number 2. 55's giving him all that he's got right here. He's diving in low on the intro, and that 2 is just walking away a little bit on him. But this is the vision to watch right here.
Double 5 of Jeff No coming up behind Andrews. This is the battle for that 3rd position. Looking at the points, Thomas Andrews could be fighting for 2nd or 3rd. These two drivers only separated by 2 points in the standings, Nick. This is vital for the championship standings. 3 races to go after tonight, and next week it's on to Talladega, where you'll see this driver, Thomas Andrews, with a great chance to win.
Yeah, the TJ's team 55 is trying all he can to get by that number 2. There's a lot of tricks up his sleeve, I believe. He's got a good car, and he's making some runs out of the corners. Let's see if he can see if that number 2 is going to make some mistakes and get by him.
No, in the 55. Trying to chase down Andrews in the 2. Ryan Pennell wants to move up as far as he can. The local Indiana driver in that Ford Taurus has no blinks coming up next to that Ford Mustang. This isn't Ford position, but Pennell last pitting on lap 156. Trying to chase down Jimmy Kerr the 3rd for the 12th position. And it looks like Kerr has scraped up the right side of the HBR TV Impala. And JK3 just trying to hang on. 10 laps to go, Nicky, and then it's going to be 9 at the line for Noah Belleville.
Yeah, that just set back Jeff No a little bit right there, getting off the pace. But looks like number 2 got in the wall, and the 55 is going to make up some time right here. It looks like he's going to go low on him.
This is the battle for 3rd. This is the battle for 2nd in the standings as well. The Swag Design points would tell you 2 markers apart between Andrews and No in the fight for 3rd. No goes to the low line, comes back up to the high, squeezing Thomas Andrews out of turn number 2. Andrews holds on yet again, but No's not done, Nicky. Coming out of turn 4, Jeff wants that bronze medal.
Yeah, Andrews is doing all he can to fight him off. It's just about that 55 watching for the mistakes, and we'll see if he can take advantage of it.
6 laps to go for these drivers. Thomas Andrews 0.3 of a second ahead, sitting in 3rd. JK3, Jimmy Kerr the 3rd, coming up behind Ryan Pennell. 0.7 separates the North Carolinian from the Indianapolis native in that 1-2. And Pennell trying to fight for a spot in the top dozen. Elrich George has a lock on a top 10 position, and strategy definitely going to be what keeps Elridge George in the top 10. Nicky, the double 5 with a blink as there's two cars making contact. Caution is out with 5 laps to go. John Honeybrink involved in a crash. Caution is out. We're going to have a green-white checkered finish to settle round 13. Let's go back and see what happened to Honeybrink. He gets around Richie Catania in the 2-4. Honeybrink just gets into the wall. I don't know if he lost focus. And this is earlier, but let's see what brought out this yellow flag. Dustin Painter getting involved.
Know right here. I think he was just trying to keep his lane, and the 0-0 just kind of came up into him. Unfortunately, he was not on the lead lap. He was just trying to keep his position, but that 0-0 was trying to get by him and just keep his pace, and that's what happens when you get in these long green flag races. You get the lap traffic, you got the lead guys, and unfortunately, they just kind of touch sometimes.
Let's run this back here. You can see Dustin Painter and the 2-0 of Honeybrink just making contact off of turn number 4. And I don't know if he got loose. Painter just going to the inside, but I mean, let's run this back and see if we can get a couple of different angles. But Painter just getting the short end of the stick, Nick.
Yeah, we got a lot of people in the pits right now. We'll see how it shakes out. Getting out of here. Aiden Norman in the number 1 spot. He looks like he's right out there, and we'll see how it goes, man.
Dustin Painter and John Honeybrink still making more contact out of turn 4 here, and I'm just trying to find out how they came together. I just think Honeybrink came off the wall. He tried to not overcorrect, but he didn't correct enough, and Dustin Painter being a victim of the 20 cars error. But I mean, Honeybrink really, he makes contact with, I don't know if he made contact at all. It looks like he was just trying to save the car from getting loose.
Yeah, that's a situation where you got some lap car traffic and some lead lap guys. I mean, the lead lap guys are trying to keep pace, and you're doing all you can when you're a lap guy, and that's what happens when they cross paths right there.
So Belleville will have to defend once again, but he's got fresh tires, and he has not lost a restart tonight. He's won every single restart, been the first guy out of turn number 2, but this time he's got the defending Thursday Night Thunder champion Aiden Norman in that 62 Logitech Dodge. He's going to try and get that first spot. We're going green this time by for the first of 3 green-white checkered attempts. So hold on. We're about to go racing. 1.25 miles remains. Thursday Night Thunder's first ever trip to the oval at Lucas Oil IRP. Belleville with control. Norman has a chance. Briley Wright ahead of the leaders as the green flag will come out with 2 laps to go. Norman just couldn't hold on to Belleville. Nick Simpson, white flag this time by. Norman to the outside.
We'll see if that Logitech black car can take it on the outside. They look pretty even right here. It's going to be anyone's race.
Norman trying to hold it from getting loose. White flag is out. 0.6 miles remains. The defending champion just trying to beat Noah Belleville, making his second Thursday Night Thunder start. Drag race down turn number 2 through the final 2 corners. Out of the 3rd and 4th, it's Norman with the advantage. Belleville to the inside, and Aiden Norman wins round 13 at IRP.
Absolute tough finish right there. You know, the 41 had this race the whole time, but unfortunately that caution came out, and the 62 just stuck it to him on the outside. That outside had the faster lane, and unfortunately that 41 got a little loose. 62 stayed smooth and didn't make a mistake, and that's how he pulled it out.
Norman will celebrate, and how? What an awesome way to win this one. Last lap pass, Norman just sticking with it. He's going to win the race in the 62 Logitech Dodge, and unofficially, his points lead could be insurmountable by this time next week. He's going to celebrate. We're going to watch him burn some smoke, and we're going to get ready for the podium interviews. Fans, don't go anywhere. Aiden Norman, Noah Belleville, and Seth Wansing will join us on the podium. On the podium now, starting with the pride of Kansas City, Missouri, one Seth Wansing in the number 9 Midwest Barbecue Chevrolet. You've got the bronze medal tonight. Was that a possibility for you coming into this 13th round? Where was the confidence?
I mean, I had a good practice and just messed up qualifying. Um, and just that was the most Mickey Mouse top 3 I've ever had. Sucks that Andrews and No got caught up with some wacky iRacing caution stuff. So that sucks. First, I want to apologize to Dustin Painter. That first caution, I ran out of talent trying to blow the car down, locked the brakes up because I entered with the corner with too much speed, rookie move, and wrecked him and put him behind. Um, so, you know, and then I was trying to get past Briley on fresh tires and got up into him. So I apologize for that. Yeah. So ran out of talent in qualifying, ran out of talent a few times during the race. Somehow ended up third. I'll take it. Thanks to 213 somewhere in Midwest Barbecue for being on board. And you know, we'll truck on to next week. So yeah.
We'll see you at
Hope everybody
Talladega.
at home. Hope everybody at home enjoyed it, and that was a hell of a finish. And good job to Aiden and Noah.
We'll see you in a week's time at the Talladega Super Speedway. Noah Belleville in that second position. Noah, tough break. I mean, you definitely got to be proud of yourself, but going for 2 wins and 2 starts was going to be a tall order. But when the caution came out with 5 to go, were you confident about your chances to win?
I don't even know what to say, man. I mean, it was 50-50 because you don't get lane choice. So yeah, I knew Aiden was going to have the outside. And I mean, in practice and qualifying, he was faster in both. So I knew it'd be tough. And I mean, I'm not here to race for points. So I didn't want to touch him. I didn't want to rough him up. I wanted to try and do it as clean as possible. And in that final corner, I started to kind of wash up a little bit, and I just had to check up a little bit, or else I was gonna get into his left side and spin him. So that's, dude, that's holy crap. That's probably the most heartbreaking finish I've ever had an ARCS. That's terrible, man. I was like 4 laps away. Man, that's the one that got away.
You got a chance to get one more next week at Talladega. You should still be proud of yourself on that silver medal, Noah. Congratulations.
Yep.
Going on to our race winner presented by Drip Diecast and Collectibles, Aiden Norman in the 62 car on the back foot all race long with Belleville dominating this race. You've got your 6th win of the season, and you now have an 80... No, not 80. I can't do the math here. What is it, 77-point lead? Yeah, you've got a 77-point lead heading into round 14 of 16. 3 races to go. Is the championship yours?
Unless something catastrophic happens, I would say so. I mean, 80 points or 77, whatever it is, that's wild. I think I won by less than that last season, and I only got 6 wins last season total. So maybe this season we can go for that elusive 7th win, maybe an 8th win. I don't see that one coming, but if I can match the TNT season record for 7 wins, that would be amazing.
And this is
We're-
Nick Simpson here, new commentator. Tell us about that high line that you took on those last 3 laps, and what you're thinking. What you're thinking about that 41.
I mean, first of all, that high line around here, it's very similar to Irwindale. I know, obviously, Rick broadcasted that. It's a race we had previously in this season. It's just kind of a 1-lane track almost, and if you're not up there, then you're not really going to be gaining anything. So on that last restart, when I saw Moldy take or Noah Belleville take the bottom line after he had already cleared me, I was a little bit confused, but I obviously took my chance and sent it around there, and I was able to hold it until the very end. And it sucks for Moldy because he he led that whole race pretty much. I would go out on a limb and say he's probably one of, if not the fastest driver in ARCS right now. So to be able to beat him at this race, considering what you guys are seeing, where he was, more than half a lap ahead of the rest of the field, it feels good for me, but it sucks for him.
Hey, that's what it's all about right there. You just got to run those high lines, the fast lines, and hey, you use the strategy, use the fuel, use the tires. I mean, there's a lot of green flag laps out there, and congratulations, 6-2.
Thank you.
Fans at home, that's going to do it for tonight's racing. An awesome, awesome finish at Lucas Oil IRP. One for the record books, definitely. I can't wait for next week at Talladega. Don't forget, we've got ENEA coming up next Monday as well, right here on Rick James TV. And until that next race, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we will see you all